Hey, what's up, guys? Good to be back with you again. Boy, that loss from yesterday really kind of stings. We're up against the Pago Youth today, and hopefully we can get back to our winning ways. It's going to be a pretty familiar squad here that we're putting out, so we're not going to have a whole bunch of changes, even though the game probably wants me to make a whole bunch of them. We're going to put out mostly the guys that we've seen before, although I'm starting to wonder about Robert Calliope. Do we have anybody on the bench who can even come in for him? Looks like we do not, and this is one of those dangerous points because at his age, we probably should be a little more careful with him. We're going to put Fatonu in there, and let's see, we probably want somebody else. We should have Calliope actually on the bench, so I will make a very, very quick change here. And yeah, who's it going to be? We can't have Polyopa and Isu there, so we're going to put him in there for Polyopa, and that'll be that. Great, and then we'll go ahead and see how this works. I actually did put that bench together, but apparently when I was doing that, I kind of missed the fact that we had a problem with a player who was extraordinarily tired and didn't have a replacement for him. So Fatonu is going to be there on the right attacking winger position. Fatonu probably is not quite good enough to play for this team or in this league, but it's okay. Against Pago Youth, we can give him a chance and see how it goes. And that's kind of what the theme of this save so far has been. We're giving a lot of players chances, and we're going to see how it goes, right? A little bit different than your other YouTube channels because we're not necessarily going to win every match, as we've seen. Boy, the first season was pretty nice, but since then we've really come back down to earth. And this season in particular seems to be quite a challenge for us. Loke with the ball. Loke brings it up and lumps it forward for Maele. He's way offside, and Toao decides not even to go for it. I mean, it's an idea, right? But there's a reason why I had changed our passing structure before. Ezekiel Volley grabs this one over to Loke. Kind of wanted to get us out of that habit of just lumping the ball forward and hoping that Maele can get there, and we're doing it again. And here he is over to Milani, passes over to Fatonu. Fatonu with the crossover to Atu, and Atu is an amazing player. And boy, that header, not quite with enough oomph on it, but that was a really, really good play. Tia now throws over to Fatonu. Fatonu brings this one up. He's going to cross again. No, instead he is stripped of the ball, and that was over the line. I know the logo has it now, but that was clearly over the line, and we could really use some VAR or some sort of goal line technology to take a look at that one. Bench is looking anxious. I'm not sure why. Nothing's happened yet. I haven't even gotten mad yet. Calliope runs back, grabs that one, passes Dekuvali over to Polipua. Polipua with it, takes it up forwards over to Fatonu. Fatonu's got Maele, and then it passed over to Atu. Atu with the beautiful pass in there, crossed wonderfully over to Maele. Maele's shot is right on target, and unfortunately for us, the keeper was in the right space. This is the thing right here, right? If Atu gets the keeper to move out just a little bit, that's going to be a goal no matter what. But Logo played that one well, played closer to his lines, and was able to take away the angle. And so let's see what happens here. Tia with the throw, and he throws this one over to Fatonu. Fatonu lumps over across, looking for Atu, can't find him. It's Peyton Milani who tries to head that one back in, and it doesn't quite work. Polipua with it now. Walks this one forward and lumps it up, looking for Maele. Can't find him once again, but it's Calliope who takes it over to the other Calliope. It's passed up and over to Atu. We love seeing Atu, and there's Maele with the header, and that's just over the goal. So it's a good idea, and it's definitely the sort of thing that we want to see happen, but just not quite good enough. Atu, I mean, when he gets into this position, I get really excited, and unfortunately for us, that cross was just a little bit too high and a little bit out of Maele's reach. And here comes the pass, or the goal kick, and Maele wins the header, but then loses possession anyway. Ends up back in the back with Polipua, who gets it from Rock. Polipua brings this one forward, and he looks up and grabs Atu up on the left side and just can't quite get that pass over there. Atu is fast enough to intercept. Rock passes it to the other Calliope. He goes over to Atu. Atu now, and looking potentially for a foul, I'm supposing, and there was no call. Rock with it now. Passes it down, looking for Peyton Milani. Rock needs to do a little bit better with those passes. He's fast, though, I'll give you that. He's fast and quick, and he can get back on defense after he's made a mistake, which is what we like to see. And then you can see Atu at the very end there making that interception. So this was a good idea, and we got this ball in a very, very good position. Atu did the right thing by trying to cross it, and unfortunately for us, that was stripped away by the defender. You can see them paying a whole lot of attention to Atu, which is good for us because that means that Maele, in theory, should be open. However, we've given them a free kick in a good position. Unfortunately for Zikavalu, is able to make the save, and here comes the corner. It's going to be Collins who takes this one. He steps back and then goes back up forward, and Atu wins the header. Atu's been winning everything in the air, on the ground. He's been winning everything today. Having a good match so far, but we need some goals. That's what we need. Danny New Silo who's taking this corner, not having a great match, and I was worried about that when I put him in that position. We have kind of a strange lineup today, and it's a strange lineup because we've had to make a couple of interesting decisions, and we did have, as you saw it, Vaili went out, I think it was 2 games ago, and he's going to be gone for the season. That's part of the problem. Milani down to Fatonu. Fatonu back to Palipua. Palipua lumps it forward for Maile, and he finds Atu, who finds Maile again, and there's that first-time shot, and that was close. That was close. That was something. That's a lot better than nothing. And here's Danny again with the corner, and he steps back and he fires forward and is looking for Palipua, but it's a really poor corner. We haven't had a good corner. I haven't had a single good corner in all of FM23. You can go back and watch. I've videoed a lot of these, and it's Atu getting fouled right in the penalty area. How about that? Well, let's see if it's Kalliope taking this one again. I have not set penalty kickers, and it is Milo Kalliope, who's one of our better penalty takers, and he scores this one. And so he's playing in, I think, right back. And he ends up scoring the penalty. We don't have any good penalty kick takers on this squad anywhere. And so that's what happens when you don't have anybody who can do it. Kalliope ends up taking it. 1-0 PanSa East FC. And here's Tiatia with the throw. We're going to have to take him off. That's a shame. Tiatia is a great player. Milani with it now. He will pass this back over to Palipua. Palipua finds Maile, who's down to Fatonu. Fatonu with a shot, and that was a very, very well-timed shot by Fatonu. That looks very, very nice for the old man who is, 30 years old? I think the oldest man here on the squad. Kalliope there with an excellent, excellent play. Rock is like a rock there on defense. Maile with the header over to Danny Nusila, who finds Atu. Atu with it, and he lumps it forward for Fatonu, who's offside. Yeah, it's a free kick. They're going to call him offside, which is a shame because that was a really, really good thought. And, I mean, Danny here had not many options, but Atu had a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4 options. We had them completely overpowered and outmatched. And it's just a shame that Fatonu was a little bit early with his run. There's not much we're going to be able to do about that at his age. Not a whole lot of training we can do. Nusila with it now over to Milani. And it's up to Atu. Atu with the crossover to Maile should be called for offside, and it's not. It's just going to be a goal kick. But that was, I'm pretty sure that was offside because that pass went forward. So Atu with it here, and yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to see from that. That was also off the crossbar. That could have been a goal there for Maile easily. And it's a free kick or a goal kick there for Logo Logo, who hits it straight back to Atu. And unfortunately, he's not able to win it. Palipua heads it back to Ikuvalu, back to Palipua. No nonsense there from Palipua, who finds Maile down to Fatonu. Fatonu finds Tiatia, who looks really, really hesitant with that kick, and I think that we really do need to take him out. It's Danny with it now. Danny lumps this one all the way up for Atu, and Atu's got it and passes over for Maile. And I mean, that was at that angle, that was never going to be much of anything, but they're having fun, and that's what we like to see. And it's going to be another highlight right away. And as Palipua grabs this over to Fatonu, and unfortunately his header is over to the defender, but Tiatia with the interception there. Tiatia has a right back, so that Kalliope, he's at Milo is at left. That's what's going on. Danny with the pass over to Maile. And that was almost a goal. Wasn't really on target, though, but we got Logo to make a save, so that means it was a corner. And we'll take another look at this really quickly. It was Danny here, and he had a good cross. It was a poor shot by Maile. That was going to be off target no matter what. But Logo, of course, unable to let that one just go by. And we have yet another highlight, and it's going to be Danny here with the corner. Knocks this one forward over to Milo Kalliope, who's got a second of the season, second of the match, 2-0. And, don't make fun of your left back. And this is a good corner, and it's an excellent header there by Milo, and that makes it 2-0 for PanSa East FC, and that's really the way that this should be, right? I mean, we should be winning these matches pretty handedly and pretty easily, and Ikuvalu, use your hand, man. He knocks it straight at the attacking striker. Fatonu then loses it promptly, and it's going to be Palipua, who's not quite fast enough to get this off of Petupoli, and that's not the person I want to see score against us. Petupoli, of course, was with PanSa East FC last season, and we got rid of him because of his inconsistency. But we don't want to give him a gift like this, and this is an absolute gift by us. Poor play by about 4 different players on our side, and we hope that we won't see much more of that happening. Palipua here now with a free kick. Knocks it forward, looking for Maile. Can't find him. It's over, though, to Rock. Rock to Atu. Atu down to Loke. Loke with it. We'll walk it up backside, back to Rock. Rock over with it, over to Milani. Milani limps this one forward for Maele. Here you go. Where's the goal? Where is the goal, Mr. Maele? Where do you think that goal is? Is the goal over there? I don't think so. You need to find the goal, shoot the ball at the goal. That's your job. You have one job. There's only one thing we want you to do. You got to do it. All right, we're going to have to make some changes. We have had a lot of shots on target. We're up 2-0. That's a good thing. Tia, unfortunately, is going to have to come off. Two guys I don't want to put on. I'll put on Afa Famoana, but I'm really, really worried about having him come into this match. Maele looks tired, but we're going to keep him on. We'll keep him on. We'll keep him on. I want to see if we can get something out of him. Maybe around 60 minutes, we'll look at taking Maele off. He's been having a good game, right? It's just that he doesn't know where the goal is. That's all. He forgets sometimes, and I don't know what happened there. A little bit of a highlight that turned into what looked like a glitch. It's all the players all of a sudden were playing, and I'm not quite sure why. And we better get this ball off before they get something set up, and they do. And there's Petupoli in a good position. He scored his goal. What did I tell you? I didn't want to see Petupoli score today, and that was a real poor defensive effort by us, and we need to see better than that. I think these players are a little bit worried. I find 5 different players after that last loss that we had. I mean, I find them nothing, but that's really bad. Ikuvalu doesn't know where he's playing, and Loke with a really poor defensive play. And is there a hint of offside? Not really, no. Not really. And the reason why is because our right back is standing there in the middle of nowhere kind of picking his nose, so that's the problem. And so it is. And Afa Famoana is not the player I really want to have out there. But we need to save Tia for better competition. Famoana here with the header and can't quite find his man, unfortunately. And so everybody comes trotting on back, and let's see if we can win this. I mean, what are they doing? There is not a Pago Youth player within like a mile of where that ball was kicked. I mean, this is ridiculous. Why would you do that? Rock has it, and it's over to Milani now. Milani lumps it forward for Maele, who's beating the defense and scores. I told you we should keep him on, and we did. That's number 11 for Maele, 3-1 for PanSa East FC, and that is his 50th goal. Imagine that. He has scored 50 goals for the club. He is only 17 years old. He has scored 50 goals for the club. I mean, isn't that amazing? Maele with this here, he's beating the defense, he's beating the keeper, nobody can stop him, and that's the way that you take it. He figured out finally where the goal was. That's what happened at halftime. You didn't see it, but I sat down talking with him, and I drew a little map of the pitch, and I said, this goal here is the one that you need to attack, not the corner of the stand. Attack the goal, shoot the ball at the goal, and good things will happen. And I think he took that lesson to heart. And let's see if we can win this one back. And Palipua does win it. It ends up with a Rock over to Atu. Atu with it, and he just lumps this forward for Maele, who's beating the defense again, and he explodes on it. And, I mean, he probably had a little bit more time than he thought, but, he probably is feeling like the kid who got away with putting the hand in the cookie jar. Danny with it now, and passes this forward for Milani, who's beating the defense, and unfortunately his shot it looked like it was deflected there by the defender coming in with the challenge. And Logo is having an awful game at goal. He just keeps knocking the ball back to us. It's over to Fatonu. Fatonu with it, crosses it over to Danny, and Danny, unfortunately, not much of a goal-scoring threat, but that was a good try, a good attempt. And we'll take another look at one of these two. I think this is the one that we just saw with Danny. And, yeah, there it was. And, if he scores, if he doesn't score, it doesn't matter. I know that it's not necessarily the most comfortable position for him. He hasn't played there a lot. We really should have Milani in that position, but it's okay. Loke lumps this forward over for Maele. Maele with it, and it's back to Rock over to Maele. Maele now down to Milo. Milo's got it, lumps this one on forward for Maele, who heads it straight into Logo's arms. It was an attempt. That was an idea, and Fa'atonu's lost the ball once again. We're going to have to be accepting of that if we want to give our players any sort of rest time this season, and this is a problem. And they have Collins, who I think was offside. It doesn't matter. In the end, Rock was able to go back and knock that one out for a corner. It's about 67th minute here, and Royal Puma about to lose to the Tafuna Jets, which would be nice for us. We would love it if other teams also ended up slipping up and losing against teams that are not quite as good. Rock with it over to Fa'atonu, and that's the end of that highlight. So we can use all the help that we can get this season. Unfortunately, once again, Ilawa and Tomata is undefeated, and it looks like they're going to be just as good this year as they were last year. Not the least of which because they've taken a lot of our former players away from us, but, so it is. They can have those inconsistent players all they want. I'm more than happy to get rid of them. And this is headed up and over to Ikuvali. We're going to make a change here. I just noticed this Loke having an awful match. We're going to put in Hangi Poli. And I mean, I know that Loke is going to have pretty bad matches from time to time. He's young and he hasn't played a whole lot, but we need to get him taken out here for the crunch time before he starts giving up goals. That was really bad by him. You saw him there with that pass over to nobody. Fatone with it now, and he lumps this forward for Maile. Maile gets it behind the defense and scores an easy goal, wide open, 12th of the season. That's number 51 for him. 2 goals here today for Toa Maile, and this is a little bit more like it. This is what we like to see. 4-1 the lead. Now let's not get too complacent, but there was Long Kilda there with the very, very poor attempt on defense. Maile had it. He had it under control and just scored the goal, and the goalkeeper ends up giving a little lecture to his central defender, and we will take Loke out now. I'm not upset. I'm not going to fine him. He wasn't that bad. Just that he's not quite skilled enough for that level. And Twala Lele, of course, is in the doghouse after giving up 2 penalties in 2 games and really giving up by himself 2 goals in that last match that we lost. And that was one that we should have won. Poli over there to Atu. Atu passes it for Fatonu. Really, really dangerous pass. Fatonu will take this up himself. People haven't figured out yet that he's not really that good. Over to Milani. Milani, what a pass to Atu. Oh, man. That's got to be the goal of the season right there. What a pass. What a pass. That looks like that wasn't an amateur level pass. I'll tell you that. Look at Milani. So he's got 1, 2, 3 men around him, and he just threads the needle right through 2 defenders on the backside. Atu's there just waiting for him. First goal of the season for Atu. 5-1 for PanSa East FC. I tell you, this Atu kid is amazing. It's amazing. I forget about whatever the name was of, Fao Danielson or whatever we had last season. Petu Poli comes back and scores a goal almost automatically right after kickoff, and that makes it 5-2. This is why we need those extra goals, because Petu Poli is actually a good striker. He's just inconsistent. He didn't play very well for us. But he gets in behind the defense here, and Iku Valu doesn't know whether he's coming or going. We do need a better goalkeeper, and that's really, I think, what the big weakness is here in our squad. The defense, I think, is okay, but the goalkeeping is something I really worry about. 84th minute now, and it's Petu Poli with it over to Taumoa for them. We need to do something to get this ball off. I know that we're trying to play a gegenpress, but we can't quite do it. Instead, we're kind of playing a gegen run behind them, which is a problem. I guess you would call that a hinterpress, which is not what we want to do. Ikuvalu ends up grabbing that shot as it goes right at him, and we are near the end. Maile running on fumes, but doesn't want to get that hat trick if at all possible. He has, what did it say, a 9.3 rating? And so if we do win this one, he's going to be the man of the match. Petu Poli is denied a hat trick, and Famoana gets rid of the ridiculousness, still 5-2. And Petu Poli is so good, though, at a play like this, getting in behind the defense. I mean, he's onside, and next thing you know, everybody's behind him. Like I said, it's the Hinta press. And so that should be the name of this video. Maybe that's what we'll do. Ikuvalu grabs that one in the air before he goes into the goal. That was some good goaltending. Why can't he do that all the time? He throws it over to Palipua. Palipua, take it slow, man. He lumps that one forward for Maile, and it is headed back to nobody, and that's the problem. That's the play I don't like to see. I would love it if we would stop doing that, but we decide to keep doing that for whatever reason. I'm not sure how to turn it off. Let me know if there is a way. Ikuvala grabs that one, and it's over with Malani over to Moana to Fatonu. Lumps it forward looking for Danny. Danny's not fast enough. Over for Maile. Maile is not tall enough, not big enough. Maile have to be about 12 feet tall to get that one, and Petu Poli here with the ball, and there is his hat trick, and it's 5-3 now for PanSa East FC. That's going to be too little too late, but Petu Poli will probably wind up with the man of the match after that, getting this pretty clean hat trick. And maybe there's a hint of offside, I'm not sure, but whoever, it's Poli there on defense. Hangy Poli is not quite seasoned enough to be able to play defense like that, and I tell you, Tualalele is probably wondering what he did that was so wrong that prevented him from being starting in this match, but that's what happens. I think we'll have him in for the next one. That's what happens when you give up 2 penalties like that, man. You got to play better than that. Fatoni with it now. Passes forward from Milani. Milani over to Maile to Danny. Danny with it, looking back to Rock, over to Milo. Milo looking for the cross, finds Atu. Atu just takes a shot, and it's on target, but can't quite get past Logo. Logo now lumps this one forward, and it's going to be Poli who grabs it and passes to Palipua, now to Rock. Rock with it, walks it up, passes to Milani. Milani over to Fatonu. Fatonu has 3 men around him, and he loses possession so easily. And I'm not going to worry too much because we don't play him that much. I mean, we're probably going to be the last team he ever plays for. 30 years old, and playing like this. I mean, he's really not good enough to play at this level. Milani with it. The problem is he's 30. I can't put him in the other 19s. I would if I could. And Maele, they're looking for the hat trick with a little lackadaisical header, and that's going to be the end of this match. And we're just sort of running out the string now, waiting for the referee, and there it is. And there's the final whistle. So we've won this one 5-3. 30 shots for us, 19 on target, a 5.03 XG, which I think is the highest I've seen. 60% of the possession, but we still gave up quite a few goals, and that's the concern that we all have. Man, we won 71% of the headers, which is just absolutely incredible. And very good passing by us as well. Overall, this was a good match. I just wish that we had better goalkeeping, a little bit better defense. I mean, Petupoli is a really good player. So there you have it. Good talking with you. I'll talk with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.